Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I wanted to do a little Valentine's Day makeup tutorial. It has been a very long time since I've done a Valentine's Day makeup look. I did one a long time ago on my channel. It's an old video. It's an old video. What can I tell you? So I thought I would do that today, and I originally thought I would do it using the Modern Renaissance palette from ABH, one of my all-time favorites, and I felt like this palette could use a little bit more love. It's, you know, it's definitely one of my older palettes at this point, but it's still such a goodie. And then I thought, well, why don't I do a look with the Modern Renaissance and the Norvina palette, which is another one that I absolutely love from ABH, but this one is obviously a newer one. This came out fairly recently, and I've just been loving it. And it has some really great pinky purple tones in it. And so I thought that I could create a look with the two of these palettes, which I thought was a cool idea. I've seen people do that before. It's not like an original idea, but I just thought that would be fun. I don't really combine my palettes too often, and I think it's something that we could all do. There's no reason that you have to stick to one palette, and I do that plenty, but you can certainly mix and match as much as you want. And these palettes, I think, go together really, really nicely. And I thought I would do sort of a pinky purpley type of look for Valentine's Day. You know, you could do really any colors that you want for this holiday, but you know, very often it's pinks and reds and that kind of thing. But to me, I love purples, so I had to add in some purples to my pink look as well. And I really love the way that it turned out, and I hope that you like it as much as I do. So happy Valentine's Day. If you want to see how to get this makeup look, then just keep on watching. I'm excited to use both of these palettes today because I really enjoy both of them, but I have not used them together, and I thought that they would be nice together. I think that, let me just, ooh, hello. Let me just open both of these so you can see. I'm just gonna drop out those brushes. But I feel like, you know, they're definitely very different, but I feel like there are things that will go nicely together with these palettes. And I want to start trying to do that a little bit more lately. I feel like I struggle sometimes with combining things. Like I certainly have no problem like mixing a palette with then maybe like a single shadow or with a pigment or something like that. But combining two different palettes, it can definitely feel sort of, you know, awkward to switch between the two. So I want to try and practice that more because I feel like I'll get more out of my palettes if I try that. So I think I'm going to start with the shade Buon Fresco as sort of a transition-y type of shade. And I then want to go in with Love to sort of like brighten it up pink-wise. This is almost like a sort of dusty pink mauvey shade. And just kind of put that all there. Then with a little bit smaller of a brush, but still fluffy, you can see the difference there. I'm going to take the smaller one and take Love and use that one, which I think is such a beautiful shade. Really, really do like this one. And definitely appropriate, I think, for Valentine's Day. And it definitely has a little bit of a satiny finish to it, but it works, I think, fine in the crease like that. So then I'm going to take the shade Love Letter, and so we're going to start kind of deepening this up. I'm going to take that, it's one of my favorite shades in this palette, if not my favorite. And I'm going to take it sort of on the outer third, but also up into the crease just a little bit. Maybe even half, we'll see. Such a pretty color, so it's hard not to go crazy with this one because it's just so pretty. Then I'm gonna take a little bit more of Love, that pink shade, and just blend out the edges there so that we don't lose that light pink. And we probably will go in and deepen those outer corners a little bit more and fix them too. But I want to go in with a shimmer. And this is the tricky part because there are so many gorgeous shimmers I mean, really in both of the palettes, but especially the Norvina palette, these shimmers are just gorgeous. And so it is tough. And I think honestly, this is the point where if you were to recreate this look, you could really decide any of these. You could, you know, say, okay, I want to keep the pink, but I want to do a purple lid and do Celestial, or even deepen it up with the purple, you know, and do a darker purple with Drama. You could even make it like a brighter pink and go on with Wild Child. I think that I'm probably going to go in with Rose Gold, which is one of my absolute favorite ones. It's a little bit of a looser shadow, so you definitely want to be careful. I'm going to add a little bit of glitter glue because I always do that. And I think you probably are better off doing that anyway with these shadows because they are pretty like loose in the pan and it just helps quite a bit. So I'm going to put that there and take Rose Gold and put that. It's such a beautiful shade. Okay, so you can see there, that looks super pretty. So now I'm gonna go in and sort of touch up everything else before we move on. I'm gonna take a little bit more of Love Letter, and then I might deepen it up a little bit as well. I don't know, might not need to. I'll reevaluate in a minute. I think I actually might leave it like that, just to keep it nice and, you know, soft and romantic and not like super, super deep, even though it's still somewhat dramatic, depending on who you are, obviously. But I think I'm gonna leave it like that. I do think that I wanna add a little bit of eyeliner because I just feel like that will make it a little bit more romantic. I don't know, when I think about a romantic look, I do sometimes think about eyeliner. If you wanted to use brown to make it a little bit softer, you could certainly do that. I'm gonna do black just because I kind of think that I prefer that for this look. So I'm gonna add in some black eyeliner. And then I'm gonna go ahead and do the rest of my face off camera because that's not really what this is about. We will come back in just a little bit. It'll be a second for you and a while for me. And we will do the lower lash line together and finish off the eyes. If you wanna know anything else I am wearing, check down below, but let's continue on with the eyes. So what I want to do, first of all, let's put a little something underneath the brow and on the inner corner. And I think I want to do like some purples on the lower lash line and sort of do a pink and purple look. I just can't help myself because I love purples. That's what it comes down to. Let's be honest here. So really you could go in with either of these, I mean, if you're my skin tone, of course, you could go in with either of like the sort of basey tone ones. Tempera, let's see how different they are. Okay, so Tempera, this is Tempera, has almost, I don't know if you can tell, but it has almost a little more of like a pinky tone to it. This one is a little more beige, the one base in the Norvina palette. So I think I'm gonna go in with Tempera on my brow bone. And again, just use whatever, you know, brow bone highlight you want. I just think that I need it a little bit. And I'll blend that in a second, don't worry. These shadows are just so pigmented. You have to be careful with them. They're definitely powdery, but I do love them. All right, so I'm gonna go in and kind of blend that out a little bit. But I just think that that ties it together, you know? Okay. For the inner corner, again, definitely lots of options. You've got the shade Dreamer in the Norvina, which is this one right here. So it looks like that, really, really pretty. You've got also Vermeer, which, I don't know, that might be the one. It's a little softer. I don't know, oh man. Yeah, I think this one almost has a little, it's a little more like gold undertone, and this one has a little more like of a pinky tone to it. So I think that Vermeer is the way to go. Didn't even have to wet that, by the way. I do think it'd be fun though to do like either a series or just some videos, you know, combining older palettes in my collection with newer palettes, like, you know, whether they're from the same brand or not. So if that sounds interesting to you, let me know down below. I think that could be something fun, like sort of a Shop My Stash throwback makeup nostalgia type of deal, but just combining two palettes, so old and new. That could be kind of fun. Just sort of popped into my head there. All right, so let's do the lower lash line. Again, we're gonna kind of do, I think, some purples. What I'm trying to decide here, and I think I'm going to close my Modern Renaissance because I think we're done with that one. At least I think we are. And we're gonna finish it off with Norvina. And what I'm trying to decide, just kind of letting you know my thought process, I wanna put this sort of like against the lower lash line because I just think this shade Drama is beautiful. Although maybe I'll put a little bit of this on the outer part and then a little bit of that one on the inner part to just sort of, you know, brighten it up as it goes in. But I think that I want to buff something on the lower lash line. The question is, do I want to do, you know, this shade here, which just is a little less like purple and just more like, sorry, I'm covering up my mouth. You know, it's like a cool tone shade, or this shade Soul, which would make it much more purple. So I think I might go in with just Volatile, this shade right here, because I want to make it a little bit more subtle. It doesn't have to be that subtle, but you know, I don't know. That's just what I'm thinking. So I'm going to take Volatile, and I am going to tap now a little bit because I have the rest of my makeup on. Yeah, see, it has like, you know, that cool toned, almost purpley-ness to it, but it's not going to like scream purple the way that Soul would. And, you know, of course, I'll have a little more purple with those shimmery purples. So now we'll go in with the shimmers. So I'm going to be really careful. I'm going to just put like tiny bit on my brush and spray it just so that I don't get fallout, because what I didn't mention before is that I have been typically doing my eyes first just because I've been preferring that lately. But I would say with these palettes, unless you are really light-handed and unless you are very careful, I really would recommend doing your eyes first. I would recommend you do your eyes first unless you feel like you can't, just because, especially with the shimmers in the Norvina palette, but both palettes with the mattes, I mean, they're just very, you know, the shimmers can be a little bit flaky and loose, beautiful though, and worth it in my opinion, but the mattes can be very powdery, so you just have to be really careful. And I did get some fallout when I was putting on like the rose gold shade, so just something to keep in mind. You know, if you really hate doing your eyes first, then just be really careful. That's all I'm saying. Okay, so I sprayed a little bit. Well, did we get some on the shirt there? Yeah, we did. Can't take me anywhere. Just covering it up. All right, so I sprayed a little bit of Drama there. And I'm going to put that on the outer part. All right, very pretty. And it's still like a fairly subtle purple. Celestial, this brighter purple will obviously make it look more purple, but you know, it's not going to scream purple. So that's, you know, depends on what you're looking for, obviously, but that's kind of what I'm looking for right now. I'm going to do the exact same thing with Celestial. Put it on my brush, tap a little bit off, spray it. And we'll put that on the inner part. And then kind of blend them together a little bit there. Now, if this is too dramatic for you, you can certainly, you know, not bring it down quite as low. You could go ahead and not do the purples and just sort of mirror what's on top a little bit. You know, just kind of put some of these pinky shades on the lower lash line. You can totally do whatever you like, but I sort of like the pink and the purple. Let's put something in the waterline and then we're almost done here. I think I'm going to take my Charlotte Tilbury Color Chameleon in Amethyst Aphrodisiac. I've been using this quite a lot lately. I just think it's really pretty. You could certainly use this as like a base all over your lid, but I've been using this a lot in my waterline because I just think it's super pretty. Okay, so that's all I'm doing for the eyes right now. So I'm gonna go ahead and add some mascara and I will show you the finished look. So this is the finished look. What do you think? Do you like it? Would you wear it for Valentine's Day? Let me know if you have any plans for Valentine's Day, what you typically do, what you like to do. I probably am just going to do a dinner at home with my husband. We don't usually do that much of a crazy like date night out just because we can go out whenever and it does tend to get really busy on Valentine's Day. So I don't know, I don't think we have any plans just yet. I'm sure we will figure something out. I hope you guys enjoyed this little makeup tutorial. Let me know in the comments below what you want to see next from me. If you like this video, please make sure and give it a big thumbs up. That really does help out my channel so much. I post videos every single Monday and Thursday, 8 p.m. Central Time. If you are not subscribed, please hit the subscribe button. I would love for you to stick around, and I really hope to see you next time. Bye.